Jabhat Fateh al Sham, or JFS, were until recently called Jabhat al-Nusra and were al-Qaeda's affiliate in Syria. When JFS was created though, it officially severed ties with al-Qaeda. They fought alongside mainstream rebel groups and have been key in breaking the regime's siege of Aleppo. But one of the crucial elements of the current ceasefire in Syria is that if it holds for a week, instead of Assad's air force, America and Russia will set up a joint command to target JFS. A JFS spokesman answered questions I emailed to him about the plans to target them.
Now the question is, where do they think JFS exists? They're not on another planet. They are part of the Syrian society. It's not uncommon to have one family with members from several groups living in the same house. They go fight and they come back to their houses with their families, with civilians. JFS is deeply embedded in society and cannot be singled out in any way. They don't govern an area on their own. They're not exclusive to any particular location. And America and Russia know this very, very well.
This map shows areas under control by different factions in Syria. ISIS territory is clearly demarcated, as is that of the regime. But JFS jointly controls areas alongside mainstream rebel groups, and even this ignores the complicated alliances in many places. It seems the US is trying to split the other rebels away from JFS, but they're seen as a powerful ally.
It's seen as a Syrian movement, it's seen as standing up for Syrians and fighting the regime. They're an effective fighting force, particularly in recent offensives in Aleppo. And so it makes no sense to peel away from them, because actually what you're doing is weakening your own position by doing that. And in some ways, I think actually some of these Syrian rebel groups could see this as a divide and rule tactic by the great powers and completely ignore it.
JFS has concentrated on attacking the Assad regime. But some in Western security establishments say despite the official break, they're still al-Qaeda and still a danger, something their spokesman denies.
We've been extremely clear about our split, but I'll say it again, JFS is not an affiliate of al-Qaeda. We're a completely independent body working to establish the common goals of the revolutionary forces in Syria.
I asked if that means they oppose events like 9/11.
Now, as for 9/11, that happened 15 years ago, and is completely irrelevant to what is happening in Syria today. Would you ask Obama to be responsible for policies that the United States had in Japan or Vietnam or South America under previous administrations? Obviously not. Our policies are clear, and that is all that matters.
A coalition of other rebel groups have tonight indicated they will abide by the ceasefire. But they've also strongly criticised the plans to attack JFS. This could be one of the key flaws that leads to the ceasefire's downfall.
JFS was not established to fight anyone except the Assad regime and whoever allies with him. Who are the terrorists? Hezbollah and the PKK, both terrorist organizations according to the US. And they're actively and openly fighting in Syria. Why are they not targeted?
There has at times been tension between JFS's predecessor Nusra and more secular opposition groups, but many now say that JFS have been the most effective force against the regime, where others in the international community have stood by.
International society, they are silent and they are watching what's going on, the destruction, the blood that's in the streets. They are only silent about such crimes. Fath al Sham, those people are dying to break the siege. So, you know, it's sure for those people who like those Fath al Sham to help them. We are against some thoughts of them, but nevertheless, people have a good view for them.
How America deals with JFS could be one of the most divisive issues in this ceasefire.